LA Muscle TV is back filming with Neale Cranwell and his training partner Emily. In this episode of The Crunch, they're going to be training glutes.
Okay, so we're going to use this Life Fitness glute machine. So this is an isolator for your glute or your backside. And when you're trying to target the glute muscle, I think it's a very compound exercise in that it ties in with your lower back, in with your hamstring chain, as well as your quads. So it's really hard on compound exercises to ideally just isolate your glutes. So allowing us to do this first means that the exercises that follow, our glutes will be more tired and therefore should stimulate and engage easier. So with a lot of women now, they're really trying to work their glutes to get that booty look. So I think these exercises are really important to do. Men as well, if you're going to compete, and you know, it's all shows a one from the back now, and having ripped glutes are a really big important thing of being on stage. So I don't think men should neglect them either. Having strong glutes will allow your squat to be a stronger exercise also. So we're going to do one leg at a time on here. I'll isolate each glute, and then we'll take it a step further on the second exercise. So another tip, a lot of women kind of skip, is using a decent weight, and especially if you're trying to build your glute, it's a really big dense muscle, so you really need to use some heavy weight on it in order to build any backside at all. And what you see a lot of times when women compete or diet is they lose their bums. So you're going to lose your bum if you're using higher reps and you're doing 20, 30 reps, so it's burning. So I would be aiming for 10 to 12 reps really on here. Okay, so the next exercise we're going to do for the glutes is we're going to use both legs on the same machine. Now we're not going to use the machine for what it was intended for, but we're going to use it for a different movement where we engage the glutes by bringing both our legs up together. So again, we've got to pause at the top for a second or two, really squeeze the bum hard at the top and let the fight against the machine on the way down, force it up. So it's a two-legged version of what we've just done. It's a great way of really engaging your lower back as well as your glutes. So you can use this as a lower back exercise or a glute builder. Today we're going to use it as a glute builder because we've just pre-exhausted on the previous exercise. Set of these, we're going to just have a double pause at the top, so it's like a 1 1/4 rep, which I used to do back in the day on the active channel, but we're going to come all the way up, come down a quarter of the way and then back up, so you squeeze the muscle, then all the way down. So it allows you to get double amount of contraction to the same amount of reps. Okay, so the final exercise we're going to do for hitting the glutes also ties into the hamstrings. So it's a stiff-legged deadlift where you're holding the bar, keeping your legs as good as straight or dead straight, however you prefer to feel it in your glutes. So we're aiming for the back side in this movement. So you really got to stick your hips and your bum back and drive through the floor with your feet to engage your glutes and your hamstrings. What I've done to this exercise is add some big heavy chains to it, so it adds more resistance and more tension at the top of the movement where it would normally become easier. When you're coming up tall, I would really engage your glutes, squeeze your bum and almost squeeze it forward at the top. So as you bring the bar up, really squeeze your tense your bum at the same time. If you're trying to engage just your hamstrings, I would advise not to come all the way up and not come as high, so you keep constant tension on the hamstring. But here we're trying to isolate the glutes, so you want to really contract them. After the previous two exercises, you'll really start to feel it in your backside. Okay, so we've finished training at Crunch Gym. We've done 3 exercises for the glutes. And we'll be back for more training on LA Muscle TV.